You are much too early on that one.
I know, it's still funny.
You
Can you reload Sirenscape?
Oh, right. Let me just... Boop, boop. So, you... I have the wrong notes up. So that's why. So, you, the Hammer Strike, have been wading your way through the Moorbog, an accursed area of a necrotic marshland that has been a blighted scar upon the world for many centuries. Bordering the veil between the Materium and the Blacklands, you left behind the security of civilization and the Ironsgate Wall, and are currently following the guidance of your hired scout, Severe. You have been following an alternate route into the unknown territories of the marshland, keeping a wary eye out for dangers, undead monsters, mind-altering phenomenon, and Mortithax, the black dragon that roams these lands. You pass a number of chilling sights, remains, bodies preserved beneath the stagnant waters, bones picked clean above the surface, those lost to sorrow and hopelessness. You stumbled upon strange constructs, skeletal bodies crucified upon wicker structures, a sign of hag activity. You set up watches at camp, discussed making use of your mind stones, and the next day discovered an ancient ruined chapel. You heard chanting as you ventured closer, and in the pews were skeletal remains long forgotten and long dead, frozen, gazing up to the statue of a cloaked figure. Inscribed across the statue's chest was a familiar eye symbol and black tongue script written in a circle around it. Within the ruined tower attached to the back of the chapel, you discovered a sarcophagus inscribed with Dwarven runes, and Liska kicked it open, triggering a trap that attempted to siphon her blood, but she survived the worst of it. Within, you found a number of interesting items, dark runes, runic catalysts, some sort of very primitive rune carver's tools, a Dwarven death mask, and an ancient religious amulet depicting the symbol of the Awakened. It was then that the bone piles before you began to stir, rise, and assemble themselves. Arngrim rushed into the fray as a horde of skeletons descended upon the party, and thanks to some lucky crits and Arngrim's Destroy Undead, you made it out alive, but not before accidentally summoning a black spot or two, phenomena that emerges after undead are killed or destroyed. After the battle, you discovered the temple was one to be dedicated to Kusata, the Bloody Mad, god of secrets and necromancy, the very same cursed saint that authored the infamous Apocryphon, and the deity that inspired many Kusatan cults, including the Awakened. It would seem as though the Ashpite lineage and their dark rune carvers and the Awakened had some connections. Later on that night, as you set up camp, Vellum did a bit of reading of the Brood War book that he was lended by Hrathgar Whitefang, Lord of the Hunter's Keep. It told of the ancient battle between dragons and giants, the splitting of dragonkind into chromatics, those who allied with the Akteshi Empire, and the prismatics, those who worked against them to set free the Akteshi slaves, paving the way for the slaves' eventual rebellion. It told of how the Akteshi giants eventually turned against the chromatics, resulting in a three-way war between all three factions that devastated both dragon and giant kind, paving the way for the Akteshi's downfall, not in a blaze of glory, but a whimper during the War of Broken Chains. The day after, during your travels, you stumbled upon some sort of ruined garrison, a small fort from the times of the War of the Undying, during its first years when the gatekeepers were merely a bunch of disunified militias fighting on the front lines against the tides of undeath. So, you broke down one of the walls and decided to investigate, and that is where we left off. So, Hammer's Strike. What is it you would like to do?
like to let this 3D isometric model load real quick.
Ah, yes.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey, there's Luke over there.
Oh, hey.
And Grunk is chilling on Liska's shoulders.
Yep.
It's not... Isometric doesn't seem to be working right now. Oh, well. Unless... Do I have to do the voice? No, he's already... There we go. Yeah. Spooky. Is it... No, that's zooming in and out. What's that? Yeah, there we go. That's the pan. Alright. I can see skeleton remains over there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because we have the little map right here. I can see. Can I ping that? Yeah, I can. Okay, it doesn't show up in the isometric. Good to know.
It does if you zoom in. You zoom into the just shows up as like weird token images.
Oh well, let's take your word for it. Regardless. So yeah, let's just gonna look and chill around. Alright, so how is everybody feeling?
Spooked.
A little on edge.
I mean,
Little
that's
bit.
understandable.
Hey, Liska.
Hmm.
Would you mind if I cast a spell on this area as a precaution?
I mean, sure, but what kind of spell?
Like the one we used to, around the campsite at night, but instead it's going to just be, to stop those black spots from happening.
Doesn't that take like a while to cast?
10 minutes.
Okay, and why would we be doing it here?
Just in case if, I don't know, we run into some undead, none will more pop up.
Did your spell stops that? I thought we had to.
Yeah, because it was the killing of the undead that make those appear.
Yes, but from my research and from what I've seen, they happen to come through the Blacklands, right? That's a kind of a planar thing. Sorry.
Good, I guess.
So my spell, if I so choose to stop that type of form to come through, if that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, if you think that will work, sure, why not? Will it cover this area?
If I do it, yes. I'll just have to put a little more oomph into it, but yeah, I can do that.
I
Okay.
think it's be wiser to save your energy.
I mean,
Let's
if
just.
you-
I think we should use the time to find what we can before anything happens. If something comes along while you're doing that, then we'd be in a bad spot and not having the benefit of it.
All valid
Now
points.
sort of gives Liska a look to sort of get her attention, and then points over with her left arm to, well, the area Liska can see as well.
Dang it.
There's skeletons everywhere on this side, so I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like the church.
well,
Was that
yeah.
set in character or? Sorry, I can.
Yeah, that is set in character.
In that case, I think that then it perhaps is good to have Dejar do her little sanctum thing. 10 minutes, we're in a relatively very defensible position. I don't want to move my character. That's the one thing about this isometric thing. Yes, like if we are going to go into combats, I mean, I know it was what was it, a 1 in 6 chance of a black spot if I kill shit, or if Gronka kills shit. But
Yeah.
1 in 20 if anyone else does, and I don't know, kind of depending on how big this is. I'm horrible at math. I feel like a majority of the party would not have to worry about summoning black spots, but I don't know. I guess
Worst
it really
case
kind of
scenario,
depends.
if you need a weapon that, isn't your blade or your helmet, I have a javelin you could probably use. It is enchanted with the sanctification.
Well, it's at least worth a try. That way we know if it works or if something does go wrong.
That's
And like you
true.
said,
It's a
this is
precaution.
defensible, so I suppose it's better than any other.
Alright. He
Right.
goes into a
A
book.
little out of
and-
character question. Is this word for Liska actually wanting to get the javelin?
She'll decline for now. I forget that Sal's like way the fuck up because happened
Yeah,
right
she's
now.
on an entirely different floor.
She's going to decline it for now, just because she also wants to see whether or not. Actually, nah, she's pragmatic. She'll be like, okay, yeah, sure, give me the javelin.
Zao will take out the javelin and do the military style throw, like you'd throw a spear to somebody.
So it's perpendicular to them, not point first.
Yeah, I'm not throwing it at point first, even though I won't hit you. I
It
Yeah.
just sort of Ace Ventura style lands in her thigh.
She wouldn't feel it.
It's like, oh hey, good shot.
Okay then. So
Okay,
Dejar's
sorry.
gonna take out her spellbook and start casting Mordenkainen's spell at 5th level. That'll
Alright,
cover
then.
this entire planet.
I will stand here.
Mordenkainen's
Take
private
the dodge
sanctum.
action.
So you're spending your
and-
time doing this.
Yes, and I will use the effect for the planar travel, blocking
Okay.
planar travel.
Alright.
How big is the radius?
I think we discussed it before. It is massive if you cast it at a higher level.
Yeah,
Cast it in
200
the right
foot
spot.
cube.
There we go. We're covered.
Yeah, 200 foot cube to basically cover the entire fort.
And it
Nice.
lasts for about 24 hours. If I'm,
Yeah, so we're fucking covered.
and this is not concentration either.
Nope.
Yeah, while this is being cast, Liska is just kind of prowling. I guess prowling is a good term. Like back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
like through here, just basically just keeping an eye on
Yeah.
both means of approach,
Mhm.
while giving like a earring whisper to Sal, be like, watch for any movement.
Alright. Both of you make perception checks.
Liska with
Who's
advantage
both of
because
you?
Gruka's still on her shoulder.
That's true, he is.
Both fingers.
Team brute force.
Question,
Mm-hmm.
Janner, do you want me to just use my passive?
Actually, yeah, your passive would actually suffice here.
Liska's advantage because Grunka puts his like hands in front of her eyes to make like fake binoculars.
Alright then, bam, 23!
Yeah, he makes
There
like
you
5
go.
fake binoculars around their eyes so she can see better.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So,
Low in character, yeah.
as you kind of put your hands in front of her eyes like blinders, it actually causes you to notice something, both you and Xiao Yun. You see what look like prints in the mud. and
Prince the artist?
no, like what look like footprints. More specifically, as you get a closer look, these are hoof prints, and also a set of claw marks, similar to the larger claw marks you saw, Liska, before encountering the young green dragon.
Okay, wait. Hold on. So I see hoof prints. Bifurcated hooves or solid hooves? Like horse hooves or her hooves?
They seem like bifurcated hooves.
Okay.
Let's see, is my GM thing isn't showing up.
Time to Google.
There we go. Specifically, kind of around here.
Okay. So they look like they come down and through?
Yes, and it looks like
Okay.
they seem to be following in the wake of the set of clawed prints, the set of claw prints,
Okay.
and they both seem to be about similar size.
Okay. And what size is that? Like, if she puts a footprint, like a hoof print, next to the other one, would hers be bigger, equal to, smaller?
Yours would be bigger.
Okay.
So
The claw marks seem to be somewhat the same.
yeah,
So, am I gleaming from this that there appears to be some reptilian creature that is stalking through this fort?
let's see. Go ahead and make a just make a survival check for me, real quick.
With advantage.
Sure.
Oh shit.
There you go.
Oh, shit.
26. These look very fresh within the span of 24 hours.
Alright then.
Is the other one set of prints, or does it seem like they're multiples? Individuals.
Yeah, with that roll, can I determine if it's like,
Yes,
if
yes.
it's a single creature or multiple creatures?
It is quite clearly two creatures, two bipedal creatures.
Okay.
Oh
I
no,
don't like
this is.
that.
Oh no, this is the place
like
where
it either.
This is the place where young lizard people go to make out.
Young lizard and goat people.
Yeah. Forbidden love.
So Liska will
And they seem to be going
give this information to...
through here.
Okay, Liska will impart this information, like, that there's a hooked creature, potentially a demon, and she motions to herself. As well, following what looks to be kind of a lizard being, both bipedal. This was within the last day, and they're heading that direction. She kind of points off to the over here.
I'm going to. I want to look at those to see if there's.
You're busy casting a spell.
Yeah.
I know. Okay,
You're
I'm gonna move over here.
You're busy, Cassie.
I'm busy over here.
Yeah, you need to focus.
Yep.
I normally don't like to
focused.
disparage people from engaging with the world
No.
around them, but you are kind of busy.
I'm busy. 10 minutes. Yeah, so while this is going on, I'm gone.
Yep, the pitfalls of being a caster.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Oh god. What the fuck happened? No, why?
Yeah. Moving
my people need me.
moving in 3D view is a bit awkward.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I switched back to 2D for moving.
Yeah.
If I need
Use-
to know height
yeah,
and
okay,
stuff, I'll
yeah.
do fucking.
Yeah, use
I'll-
3D
I'll
purely
check
as
that.
like gauging the surroundings. Try not to move
let
in
me,
it.
let me change this real quick. 0. Boop. And let's move back to where Grunka is.
Nope.
Alright. Okay.
Am I a good door?
You are definitely a good door.
Let's
Fuck
get
you with
Pat's Velvet on the Pat say Velvet on the shoulder and be like, you're a good door. Good job.
Sunshine sword. Hello there, stab.
Alright. So, with this information in mind, I guess Liska will continue to just patrol this general area.
Mhm.
Like here and so forth.
Okay.
While Vellum holds that singular doorway.
I mean, it's a good place to bottleneck.
It is.
Let's
I don't
see.
think there's an icon for it, but consider me dodging all the time.
Yeah. That's what Liska could be doing.
He's just doing like side hops.
Just
Like
shield up.
Saitama.
Yeah.
Just back and forth.
So-
So yeah, 10 minutes.
And you're just waiting for her to finish casting this.
Yep, presuming nothing weird happened in that time.
About 5 minutes goes by before Saoyun, you hear so emanating somewhere in this direction.
Oh man, bony boys.
Like across from me?
Across and down.
Can I see anything through the window?
No.
Can I hear anything through the window?
You can hear something. Just this general area. Seems to be coming from the very bottom. From the very bottom floor.
Sao is gonna catch Liska's attention and then gesture to the building.
Liska's
and-
going. Oh,
Try
sorry.
and be careful, but move around and see if you can see a doorway or entrance. I hear something.
And motioning to this.
Sao will nod, as if expecting there to be an entrance.
Okay. Yeah, Liska will kind of move off to the side, kind of keeping her back towards the wall, shield towards the motion to area, and then just kind of tilt her head, nods, or like looks up to Sao and kind of nods, and then thinks for a second, touches her ear. Yeah, there's an entrance.
You can see-
something is, and Sao will just answer via earring as well. Something's making noise. Take it with precaution.
Liska is going to, with that in mind, move here against the wall. And then kind of glance over to Dejar, who's in the middle of casting, and then look at the rest of the group like, how long has she been casting?
Sao does a quick think and answers with 5-ish minutes.
Yeah, it's been about 5 minutes.
Liska nods. It's like, okay. Vellum, stay in the doorway, just in case anything tries to sneak around behind. And Gronka, do you feel like potentially exploring and fucking shit up?
Oh yeah, sure.
Alright. And then Liska will slowly, with Gronka on her shoulders, she'll slowly move forward.
As you peek past the ruined section in the wall, you see what very much looks like. I don't think it shows up on the isometric view, but you can see it on the. I believe you can see it on the 2D view. Correct?
The floor that I'm on, yes.
Okay.
I see something. Oh. Yep. I can see that.
Oh
Is
no.
that-
Not
Is
quite.
that alive? Or is that dead?
You do not see it from your current perspective, or at least should not be able to see it.
I do not see this.
No, that is 40 feet up.
Yeah, let's go. The
Yeah,
isometric.
I can't see that. So
Okay.
Oh, I've accidentally moved your token. Fuck. Hang on.
oh no.
There you go.
Like a hole in the wall there.
Okay. It's still kind of okay. That's weird. I don't know why I can see him.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Um,
either. But shh.
Okay. Y'all heard me respond to nothing. Anyway, alright, so yeah. Liska's going to kind of peek her head in and around and God fucking escape. Why does it do that? Okay. I'm trying to move the camera and I'm moving Liska. Okay, so she peeks her head around, just kind of leans into the doorway, looks left and right, kind of hiding behind her shield. Ducks so Kronka doesn't hit his head on the top of the door.
I'm gonna try.
I just want to say that it's really... Is there a way to hide the HUD so you can only see the screen in Foundry?
Which?
I don't
which
think
one?
so.
Okay. Well, that's
You
fine.
mean the stuff on the left or the right?
I mean everything, so it's just
Oh.
the screen.
Yeah, I mean you can hide like the text stuff and stuff. There's like a little arrow there, but you can't hide the
Okay,
left
there's-
stuff.
Gotcha.
Oh, you can collapse or expand top right. That small arrow, very, very top right.
Yeah, but you can't do it on the left, I think.
No, sadly not.
Anyway, I just want to say that kind of looking around, it was really interesting to see this, like from a perspective point of view. Like this is sitting there with Gronka, and then just Sal in the back on top, looking over. Just really interesting to see. Anyway, so yeah, Liska will. So, peeking in, does she see anything?
You see what look like the source of that noise Sayun was talking about. You see, up against either side of this table here,
Where did it go?
what appears to be two idle skeletal figures just standing there.
Are they armed?
You can see both of them are armed with scimitars. Rusty, old scimitars. And they appear to be just standing there, just
Menacingly.
idly swaying.
Okay.
Making bone to knees.
Oh no, they're doing the RPG bounce.
Yeah, the idle animation.
Yeah.
Liska's going to like kind of come back from around the corner, and then just with the earrings, like, okay, there's two skeletons on the low floor. They seem to just be standing idly, but it's very weird that they're just sitting. They're just standing there. I don't really know how to explain it. This is over the earring.
This is to Sayun.
This is over the earring to everybody who has
Oh,
an
okay.
earring.
Dujar, you're a smart person. This sounds like they are awaiting a command.
Oh. Oh shit.
So if we leave them alone until the jar's done cast, ambush them.
I mean, that was my idea.
That was out of character, but I can easily translate it as character.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Like, Liska will respond the same way.
Yep, just making it just it's. I said it thinking it was stupid. It turned out to be smart. So
I'm just gonna check something here, see if you can see that. There you go. Okay, yeah, you can see those. Continue.
So does the does the isometric view not react well with multiple floors?
Apparently not. I've been trying to find ways to fix that.
That's fine. I can't see the one dude anymore,
Yeah.
but I also can't see the skeletons if they would be there. So that's why I'm asking.
Right. It's probably because you're a large token. It doesn't react well to that.
I'm a big bitch.
Yeah, only takes into account. Yeah, you probably have to like move 1 square forward in order to actually see them.
gonna go over the earring to Liska. Do you want me to start trying to take the weapons off these skeletons before they start getting up, or should I not risk it?
Let's not risk it for now, because as it ends. You've been standing here for quite some time, casting and meandering about, and it seems like nothing has really warranted their attention. Because if you recall, last time is when we've disturbed things that they decided to attack.
Right, I'll leave it for now then.
Yeah. But be prepared, because that is a good idea. I should know. I've done it. Alright, and we are going to kind of hold up. And we're my people need me. And we're gonna kind of hold what is it called when planes do that, where they just kind of circle over a runway waiting for them to be able to come in? Hold pattern. Yeah, we're gonna hold pattern until Dajar finishes casting, and then we're gonna go ahead.
We'll continue to watch them just eerily swaying to and fro, waiting for something.
It's like they're breathing but without lungs. It's really freaky.
Make a nice
And this she just mutters to Grunka.
What did you mumble?
It's like they're breathing without lungs. It's kind of freaky.
Oh, yeah.
Because most idle animations are just characters breathing. But these are skeletons. They don't breathe.
They pretend.
And gradually, eventually, you watch a small mote of shadow emanating above in the sky, which begins to spread until it encompasses the entirety of the fort, the garrison.
All right. Liska will prepare sword and shield just in case that triggers anything.
Yeah, Sal will have her sanctified short bow at the ready, because, you know.
Oh, I just realized something. With that, like, Mordenkainen's private sanctum, Sal can use her gun now, because it won't attract... The sound won't leave through the walls.
Or does she need to set it to something specific for the soundlessness?
My sanctified short bow does radiant.
I know. I was just saying for future
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah, sound and the planar thing. Yeah, you're
Good to know.
good. You're good.
I know you've been wanting to use your gun, but just haven't been able to.
All right.
Does that immediately trigger anything in the next 15-20 seconds after it settles down? Does anything happen? This is just straining your ears.
You hear the subtle thrum of it meeting the ground beyond the walls, and then you wait. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Nothing.
All right.
Slowly put book away. Okay, it's done.
All right. Okay. Vellum. Now might be the time. Can you do it quickly?
Alright, I'm going over it. And with very slow steps, he's going to start making his way out.
All right.
Time to be a loot goblin.
At least get rid of the weapons.
I have to actually take them. Can I just delete them? Can I just not say I did? Alright, here.
Damn you, Foundry.
Loot item. I'll leave him with the arrows. Maybe he can try throwing them at us.
With your passive perception of 16, it's not difficult to see now that sort of Liska's pointed this out and you've kind of been casual on the lookout for them. You notice these hoof prints follow the claw prints for some time around here, and it's not difficult to surmise that a chase took a chase around here took place. And you can see among these skeletons a number of cold black marks scattered across the ground, indicating that you're not really magically educated, but you notice the mark of spells being thrown when you see it.
Yara is going to look down at if she was notified of this trail at all.
Sorry?
Was she notified of the trail?
Not yet.
Okay. That's what I was asking.
Was that me or Sour
Alright.
noticing, by the way?
As you, Vellum.
Okay, well, he's he's not saying a damn thing until he's back, and then he just sort of quietly as possible dumps all his excess equipment into the corner. I don't know what's going on here. There's some marks on the ground with the skeletons. But they ain't gonna be whacking us with these anytime soon. Just sort of carefully puts a pile of short swords on the floor.
Oh, nice.
And actually, your knowledge of weapons and smithing, these were recently used. You can see various notches on the rusted blades have been sort of whacked out of place.
Recent is a very relative term.
within
Within the last 24 hours.
Within the last 24 hours, yes.
Yeah, when
These
Liska was
look
like,
they've been used, so either somebody else traveled.
"Oh, question, Janner, with
Yes.
that 26 tracking check, would I know who was chasing whom? Would I know which came after, and which was before?"
It seems as though the hooves were chasing the claws.
All right.
How do I drop items?
I don't think you can.
No, I've got a bunch of bows and short swords in my inventory. I can't get rid of.
You just trade them to someone.
I mean, can't you just delete?
just
you just
right
delete
click
item.
and delete item.
There is no delete item. There's edit item.
You don't have. That's weird.
I can't delete these items for some reason.
That's because you need to enable edit. The green lock.
Okay, yeah, I gotta do
green lock.
the. There we go. That's
Since Tijara is notified of these, the tracks in the ground, I'm going to investigate them to see if there's any, wounds or like blood or anything.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Question:
Mm-hmm.
Does this take her outside or beyond the wall / doorway that Vellum's in? Because if so, Liska's gonna be like, "Stop! don't fucking do it." Vellum with that for a reason. We need to.
No, I'm just gonna
there are
stay
living
where I'm at.
skeletons.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
I went back to the doorway. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, yeah, that's
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I was asking if Dejar trying to investigate the magic marks took her beyond you.
Right.
Oh. That's why I was like, "Stop."
no, I'm not gonna go beyond the magic marks. I'm just checking the trail and just looking at it.
Are you going past Vellum through that doorway?
Nope.
Or are you
Nope.
are you looking through? Okay. And then Liska will not stop you.
So,
26. There are no wounds per se, but from what you can surmise, piecing together some information that you've learned now, it seems as though the hoof prints were being slow, steady, trying to remain unseen.
Oh. So I see now how it goes. So the hoof prints were stalking the claw marks. Interesting. It's going to whisper this to Liska, or ask this of Liska. So where did the trail end? I'm not gonna go anywhere, just Where did they end exactly?
Well, from what I saw, it went around that corner. She motions to this corner over here. Vellum had a good look. He must have been able to see if it went anywhere else.
Right, okay.
Do I recall where?
You recall that it went. Let's see here. It went in this direction.
It kept moving down the right up to
Right,
the
okay.
Alright.
Okay then.
Okay, so you have, unless he's gonna kind of move forward, so she's with the group. Trailing Drunka. Not Drunka, Grunka.
Drunka is a whole other beast.
Yeah, Drunk is different. It's like, okay. We have multiple paths of inquiry. We have the trail, which was a lizard person being chased by a stealthy, potentially demon, who leads through those skeletons. And she's going to kind of look over Vellum's head to see, like, do those skeletons look like there was combat here, right? Due to the magic being thrown around, we can assume?
There was clearly combat here, yes.
Yes, and the weapons seemed like they were used.
Okay. So those skeletons might be the non-coming back kinds. We don't know. But we have these two here, and she motions through the wall to her north. Well, we can follow those tracks to see where they lead, because that interests me, and we can just take care of those two skeletons easily. But those have me curious.
Yeah, and I'd rather get a lay of the land a bit more before we go fighting.
Yeah, especially on the inside where we could easily be trapped.
So, you feel free to just sweep those bones out of the way. Let's go. I don't want to go too near too many of them at once. They jump up again.
I mean, makes sense. And then she's going to, because this was over the earrings, she will use earrings to make sure Sao hears, but also speak aloud to make sure, like, because I think Arngrim, for some reason, still doesn't have an earring, and I don't think Dajar does either. So she will say this. Yeah, so she will. Oh no, that wasn't anything against you.
I know.
That wasn't anything against you. But so she will make sure that the whole party heard her, and then she's going to, with Grunka, just start moving through this wall that's not going to let her move through. Ah, there we go.
You just got to squeeze.
Gosh,
I got him in a wall.
Yeah, green
I got him in.
sideways.
Let's go.
You wish.
I realized after they came out of my mouth.
So, would it be assumed be safe to look past the doorway now?
Well,
Or
you
just
wait
stay where
till
I'm
we
at.
go
Stay-
forward first.
Yeah,
then
stay
you,
behind
yeah, just
big-
stay behind.
metal people. But yeah, so Liska will kind of motion to Sao to kind of scout ahead along the wall.
Sao will nod and proceed to move along the wall.
Okay.
Liska's gonna wait at corners for Sao to see anything.
That's a number of bones on your way, so you can hear.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab an arrow and try and stir the bones a little to see if there's a reaction.
You kind of clink, 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 clink around bones here. You see, it's like a sort of ragged arm off to the side. Looks like scimitar. Old rusted metals. Looks like it's been here for centuries.
I'm gonna proceed to move along a little further. Note, I'm taking it slowly in steps.
I'm just gonna start moving these bones into corners, Janer, as we're going.
Okay.
It's like up against the wall.
Hang on, I just gotta move this out of the way so I can. Oop, there you go.
Oop, there it is.
And we just have all the skeletons in one spot, and then we know where they're gonna pop up if they do.
And they form a giant skeleton.
I mean, it's one target. It's one target, and we're 2 fighters.
Both of you go ahead and make either investigation checks or survival checks. Your choice.
Whom?
One or the both of you.
But I'm asking who you're talking to
Yeah,
right
you
now.
say
Oh,
you.
sorry.
And it's
Sorry,
very general statement.
sorry, Liska and Vellum.
Okay.
Time for big brain blaze.
Survival.
I actually will be better with survival.
Hey.
24, 23.
Hey, that hunter's mark is coming in useful.
Indeed.
Yeah, it is.
These were freshly cut down skeletons. Again, within the last 24 hours. They were very clearly once animated. You see, you kind of think to yourself for a moment, and you take out one of the rusty blades. You see cut marks on the bone. You kind of place the blade against the some of the cut marks, and it's a perfect match. Either they cut themselves down, or they cut down each other.
What? Are you seeing this, Liska?
This is very weird. So, like, the skeletons attacked each other?
Just bones on bones.
It seems they were all
Liska's
once animated at some point.
Liska's going to kind of look around. God fucking damn it. I'm panning the camera. I'm not moving myself.
Go to 2D like I do.
Yeah, I stay in 2D.
I just keep seeing Liska fly 20 feet into the air.
People need
God damn it.
She's just jumping.
Yeah, this is just, she got the jumps. But isometric also helps me tactically. Anyway, so and I still do have the 2D window. So Liska's gonna kind of look at them, look at the skeletons, kind of look around. Then she's gonna look at Dejar. It's like, can you tell what kind of magic made these marks? She points to like the streaks and stuff on the ground and walls.
Just to make sure it's safe, Valve's going to start piling all the skeletons in the corner.
Okay.
Even if the
Can I come
bones get
over?
muddled up, in fact, it's harder for them to come back together.
Dejar, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Alright.
Sal not saying anything's going wrong around the corner. Liska will move out a bit.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about saying anything because I haven't seen anything, but I'm also, no news is good news, right?
Yeah, usually.
24. Very clearly, this was some sort of spell-wrought battle took place here. You can see kind of sort of frosted, blackened marks on the ground, indicative of necrotic energy being thrown back and forth.
It is a mage battle. Even furthermore, it's from what you... Hold on. What's going on with the bones? What's weird about them?
Well, they've been fighting each other.
Yeah, the skeletons look like they attacked each other.
By the matron. That's a necromancer battle between mages.
Oh good, more than one.
Well, I don't know. If it was a battle, usually that ends in a victor and defeat. So,
Yeah, maybe we'll get lucky.
It would, but also considering what we've learned with the trail, they're still on the hunt. So it's still a chase happening.
Well, it's been at least a day, or about a day. I do not hear combat too much around. In fact, we know of just skeletons sitting there doing nothing. I doubt if they were in the middle of dying. that their master wouldn't have them attacking or defending.
Well, we should keep moving. Probably not going to find anything standing next to a pile of bones.
That's just, just a a guess. So
And just
the more we find out, the more I'll be certain.
so just keep your eyes peeled. And she says that with a glance up to Zhao. And just everyone proceeds cautiously.
Stick close,
And-
Joe.
Right.
Do. Following the trail.
Zhao will do a short wave with her arrow as she then points to here and will over his earring tell the party that there is a Skeleboy on the floor.
Like napping, playing dice, like just a pile. I mean, Leska does ask that. Like, in what
There's
capacity?
There is one on the floor, as far as I can see, and beyond that, she sort of pauses for a moment, and then with bow in one hand, arrow in the other, do the gesture for something large, and then and the bigger one.
Is the big one on the floor too?
It's in pieces, yes.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Leska will, sword and shield at the ready. Just kind of move forward. It's like, oh, that was a big one.
You see through the gap in the wall two sets of bones, one of which looks like another fallen skeleton in much the same way as you saw the previous ones. This one may have been previously animated, as it's kind of laid limp on the floor in pieces. You can see bits of ragged armour, more heavily armoured than the other ones. Beyond that, you see a set of massive bones.
Well, that was a big one.
I have
was.
the dawn. That's huge.
How big is this gap?
The gap there is
10
about
foot?
is about 5 feet wide.
Is it
Ganner.
Runka size?
Yes.
Can I jump this gap with my passive?
Let's see. Your what's your long jump?
Standard, I have a 10 strength.
I don't think
So
you
that's just 10 feet.
It's more the fact that I have a 21 passive acrobatics currently. So I'm wondering if I could,
Everything.
I don't think you can passive your everything. So
No, I was saying everything to Grunka, who is just stealing the entire skeleton at this point.
Yeah. And long jump is specifically athletics, but you are still flying, aren't you? Or actually, how long does flight last?
10 minutes.
okay,
Oh,
yeah,
but that-
no longer flying. I don't think you'll be able to pass that with a passive jump. You could attempt an acrobatics check. I will.
What's the
I will allow
what's
that.
the game? Oh. Yeah, I don't think there's not 10 feet enough to do like a long jump, right?
Fuck it.
24.
Hey,
You see that brief moment where you step, and then right at the very last moment you jump, and you cling to the very edge of the rock face, and then try to clamber your way back up to a stand, and then a bow.
No one was watching.
No one was watching.
Hit points.
looking at bones.
Picking up bone.
As Grunker just hurriedly shuffles all of this stuff from the skeleton into his bag.
Just scooping the pile of bones into his bag.
Yeah, he has put
Sale.
like a dusting pan. He has put like his bag of holding on the ground. He has like
Basically, clearance sale. Everything must go.
Right on.
Yeah, so
I hope
let's-
That might have just been disarming him, but I guess
Yeah.
that worked.
Grunker kind of looks down in his bag. It's like, oh, I hope it doesn't come back in there.
yeah, that's the kicker.
Can this fit is the question.
So,
That is
yeah,
a
so
5 foot. Is it 5 foot high or 5 foot wide?
5 foot wide.
That's a
15 feet.
squeeze.
It's a big dude.
So yeah, so with that, Liska is going to come up to the large gentleman and pick up its skull and be like, and then put it in her bag of holding.
Oh god.
What is
Yeah, that skull is about as big as Grunker is.
That's
How
fine.
big
She can
is-
fit Grunk in her bag of holding.
I will
it-
never understand the fascination.
It
Does
strains a bit to get in the bag of holding. You fear as though you might kind of sunder the stitching, but you eventually.
Nice.
So, did the skull look like humanoid?
It
Like, would it be like a giant skull? I'm guessing.
it's you've seen this sort of structure before in the elemental cairn. This seems to be a giant skull. Yes.
Okay, just wondering if it was like a giant or a troll or
Giant troll.
I
because
almost thought it was a troll.
I assume the trolls have different like skull shapes,
Mhm.
like cone heads.
Yeah.
Well, I also just noticed something else.
What?
Passive player perception. Liska looks to the building on their right, and it just like points out what looks like also skulls, skeletons. Let's see if I can.
We go to
pan,
isometric.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't go further down. There we go. Yeah. So it's like she points behind Vellum. It's like, like look at that guy, just chilling over here.
Oh, I see him.
You see, what looks like. Hang on. Would actually.
Concern.
I don't see anyone.
Okay.
I
Tell
can
if that's
see
a
a top
standing
of that.
one or a pile of bones.
Yeah,
There we go.
looks like he's standing. Oh, hey, there's also a chest.
Sorry, hang on.
A chest
Just,
appeared.
let me just.
Oh no, it's a mimic. It's moving.
Shit.
I don't like that. Keep it away.
It's kind of spooky. You're seeing things just slide about on the isometric.
Just a little bit.
I'm just gonna do this so other people can see. There we go.
Look at that
So-
bony boy.
You see some sort of skeletal figure slumped in in what looks like a stone chair or throne,
Oh, that's not good.
and you see what looks like a large chest nearby.
It's kind of hard to tell what's ground floor, but upper floor.
Yeah, it's easier to tell in isometric view, sadly.
Yeah.
Okay, well let me just
Yeah.
move
Yeah,
myself.
I just switched over to it.
Yeah, I don't like using.
I've been in it the whole time. That's why I fly off sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, with the head of the giant skeleton now missing, yeah, going to
We just
kind of
Okay.
does it is there like a giant weapon nearby?
From what you can see, there is no giant. Well, actually, no. You'll be able to see this. There is a very large club, kind of sandwiched in between the wall and the large twisted tree.
So, like, does it seem like the club was there and the tree grew around it?
For the most part, yes. I don't know, maybe with like a significant pull, you could probably wrench it free.
All I can imagine is that, you know, sometimes a branch of a tree will start like sprouting, like stickling, and I imagine the club just became the tree.
Maybe it'd be interesting. Yeah. So, I guess. Yeah, I guess Liska's going to. Does like the club seem worn down at all, or does it just seem?
Seems fairly worn. Yes, looks like it's been there for quite some time.
All right. No, fuck it. Why not? Liska's gonna kind of go over, like, you know, bones, bludgeoning damage always helps, and she's gonna like try to pull it free.
All right, make an athletics check. 16. You pull and you pull. It's you kind of get it to wiggle a little bit, but it's not coming free.
Oh well, they already. So yeah, she's like seeing that. She just kind of shrugs. It's like it would have been nice to potentially. Actually, I might come back for it.
Yeah, we
So,
should
yeah,
maybe
so-
probably keep clearing this place out.
Yeah. So let's go. We'll continue forward. So, do we want to address the skeleton in the room? Like, dude on chair next to a chest.
You do see that the chest has been opened.
Well, somebody's definitely looted here first.
Oh no, the skeleton's been looting while we've been talking.
And let's see, Vellum, with your passive perception, you see the glint of things within the chest.
Hold
Quite
on.
sure from this angle, though.
Well, I haven't mentioned any of the glint yet.
True.
There's someone in that chest, but, you know, obvious skeleton threat. Possible jumpy bones there.
Jander,
Obvious skeleton is obvious.
question. How far am I from that chest?
Let's see here. You are about 25 feet.
Good. Mage Hand would be definitely good at this point.
Okay.
I'm gonna try something real quick, and just in case if it's tripped or trapped or booby trapped or something, I have something to where I can grab it at a distance, and whoever's attached to it, it goes off, and no one gets hurt.
Here to go.
Liska.
All right.
Taking into account your earlier tracking check, the hoof prints and the claw prints seem to go through this room as well. Hang on, there we go. It seems to go through here, then up the stairs.
All right. Liska will kind of communicate that to the group. It's like, so this looks like the chase went through here and up. So
Okay.
just keep
I
that
guess
in
we
mind.
follow.
Yeah. Liska's going to move in and basically just keep an eye on the stairs and let them.
Well, hope that chest isn't explosively booby trapped or something.
That's the reason why Duchar said that beginning before Liska went in, but okay.
I'm just
Alright,
standing
let's
up here looking pretty.
And you're doing an
If
amazing
you're gonna
job.
go in, just brace yourself, and she will operate her mage hand to try and pick up whatever in the chest.
Okay. There's a number of things within the chest. This goes. As you approach and get a good look in, you can see it's like a very nicely made longsword, a sanctified flail. You've seen these before. Specifically, in the Ironsgate Keep. You've seen a number of them. A great sword, very nicely made short sword, a long kind of gnarled, awful looking staff. Looks like sort of a scroll case.
Ooh.
A number of gemstones. A couple of pieces of jewellery as well as looks like a large sack of coins.
So
Liska's
is it
gonna
safe
kind of
to go closer?
yeah. Liska's gonna look in and then look up. Can she give? She's not gonna say anything yet. Can she kind of give a listen to see if there's anything or sounds coming from up the stairs?
Make a perception check. 17. You kind of listen closely for a moment. There's that hint of creaking off in the other tower that you heard before, but nothing beyond the twisted howls and general oppressive atmosphere of the bog.
Liska, with her shield, kind of motions for everybody to come in. It's like there
Alrighty.
looks to be some good loot in there. At least stuff that will help us in the motorbog.
I
Sao is
recommend
just-
here specifically to avoid skeleton.
Thou is now on top of the wall, out away from everybody.
So you think you can kind of inside now? So I don't know if you want to be hanging around too much out there.
I
Just so
think
you know,
I
when-
will. I'll stay on top, keep a watch, and
Okay, I can't be the only one who heard.
What?
I'm hearing shit, man. I'm hearing spooky shit. More gems for the collection.
And you can all see what's in the chest there, yeah? If you double click.
Yeah,
I already am.
I'm going to. Interesting. That staff looks very interesting.
Anyone mind if I just grab these gems for now?
Go for it. I'm. For right now, you you hold on to that treasure. Most of it. Ooh.
Thou will earring people. You find anything special?
I found. Oh shit! Right. Never mind.
Jar, you are
Yes.
a smarty person.
You should hope so. That's why you brought her along.
You're a smarty.
It seems as though this chest was being used to gather things until recently, and something has been taken from this chest.
Since there's a lot of magical shit here, would I? Huh. I would have to use a ritual spell, and that takes some time. Find out what essences. Ooh, I could. Ooh.
Ooh.
If I did, this is that character. What is it? Detect magic. Would detect magic also provide a trail from a place if it's been stored long enough?
I don't think so. No.
Good idea.
Also, we
but
don't know these are magic. We just know there's sword and a weird staff.
Well, Jenner did specifically say that from the looks of them, they appear to be the same kind of sanctified stuff that we saw in the keep.
Oh, okay.
I imagine they're giving
just
off
because
kind of
we
like a
see
faint
longsword
radiant
plus
glow.
1 and shortsword plus 1 doesn't mean that
True.
we know that offhand.
These these great swords, these sanctified great swords, look very, very old, older than the ones you saw in the keep.
Oh shit.
But do they? Sorry, question: is that like old as in weathered, or just old as in styled? Like, or do they look like they were the style of greatsword you'd see 500 years ago?
Yes, and they also look very weathered as well. So, very likely, these were weapons that were once used in this fort.
Right, out of character real quick, I want to address them. Splitting the money, it says 7 ways. I'm wondering how that's being calculated so we don't get any accidental ruffles.
According to the chest, it's split amongst the value of what's currently in it, I think. Unless there's coin.
No, I mean, it says splits. You can distribute coin, you can split it between people, but it says 7.
Oh,
So
right. It's
yeah,
accounting.
I don't think there's 7
for,
of us.
Yeah, it's accounting for the GM and the stream view for some reason.
Well, that button sadly may not work to our benefit. Alright, don't push the button.
I mean, it's a simple fix.
Right, nice as it is to find this collection of surprisingly valuable stuff, I'm more worried about why it's here. I mean, this is a big hoard. I feel like if somebody had been coming through here like that trail said, why is this still here? Who would leave loot here?
That.
I mean, maybe somebody who did not appreciate this kind of wealth. Maybe their idea of wealth is, she motions to the skeleton in the chair, something different.
Well, I'll hold on to this extra stuff until we go out.
Yeah. Do you have... Oh, it actually... Interesting. That staff of withering is worth 12,000 gold. Okay.
There were 2 of them.
There were 2 staffs of withering. Put one of them in the bag.
Dang.
Jesus
got one of them,
fucking
so-
Right,
Christ.
who hasn't got a
A staff of withering.
I got one.
I mean,
Let's
who
get
doesn't
the other
have
one?
a staff of withering at this point? You know what I'm saying?
who hasn't got one of them fancy sanctity weapons?
I don't
You
have
will
a
see
melee
list
one.
of- Yeah, sorry.
All right, I'll grab this for you. That's a stick. And he's probably saw Dejan take this to the other one. It's like, I'd want to just take them both. I mean, no point leaving it.
Alright, fine.
It seems as though this place was being salvaged for anything of value.
That music just got really intense suddenly.
Yeah, it did.
But-
I was not prepared. So
But,
how am I gonna do this golden shit?
Yeah, well, you can loot coins specifically individually, but we've got to figure out like how much each person gets. Calculation, you're an automatic thing.
We got a
was
1,000.
And also, does
2800
Dejan mention any of the stuff that her big smarty brain put together?
It's
Yeah, I feel
2,800
mixed.
gold. Equivalent.
Cuban mentioned it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it in character, but Cuban
Figure it out
mentioned
while we figure out coin.
Yeah. So it's 2,800 split 6 ways because there's 6 of us. Is 466 gold. One person gets 467.
Whoops. I thought that loot coin thing would come up with a prompt.
Damn it.
Yeah, loot coins. That's the only button that's there. What the fuck, game? Okay, I'll just I'll give it to everyone.
Well, I think it is. So just for future fun, would we I guess because it counts 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How many
Game
trans-
master.
Send the player.
Odd that it counts stream and
Yeah, it's,
game master as
Well,
players.
they count as players.
yeah.
Don't
I
get
don't,
why
I
that-
don't understand it. Oh well.
Well, we figure that out.
Yeah.
Avon, can you put
Okay.
the coinage amount that I need to be giving everyone in chat so I can do that back?
Okay,
What about
so
the silver and
That was all of it together.
yeah, but that's separate coinages we can't convert on the fly.
Fine.
I know. Well, I mean, we can't mush it into gold. We're not a bank.
Let's see. So it was.
Yeah, it's in the chat for.
Yeah, it was. So
Much as I would like to be able to turn everything into gold, it's not how it works. That was the total.
yes,
I'm aware of the total. I'm just bad at math.
I know you miffed me.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
miffed.
Avon, but I have to be the realist here. We're not a bank. We can't just suddenly gold.
Fine.
Thank you. I only say because if I try doing it, we'll be here for fucking 5 hours.
But
so-
what? Yeah.
So it would seem this was a, for lack of a better term, a stash, treasured stash. It seemed it was hoarded for something.
What, you say there's treasure items out here? Fucking
No,
crazy.
no. More like stockpiling for something. For I don't know what.
Obviously, for us to take.
Apparently,
We need
since-
to worry about whoever stockpiled it back and getting pissy at us.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, if we're in and out, I mean, okay, here are the two possibilities. One, we're in and out before they even know we're here and we're gone. We're A-okay. Two, we find the person who's stockpiling this. We tell them what's going on, they might attack us. If that's the case, we fuck them up. There'll likely be a necromancer, just keep that in mind.
Yes.
And then we walk out of here with the stuff anyway. Or three, no, those are really kind of the options.
Yeah, I mean, for the
Yeah.
first one, though, I kind of niffed the first option since I did the spell. If anyone's worth the salt and magic, they'd be like, oh shit, someone's here. So that's
Right,
kind
well-
of.
Maybe we'll find them while we're sweeping the place. If we don't, well, we're not going to stick around just to wait for somebody who may, let's be honest, be dead.
Also true, so it is what it is, I guess.
Either
And at this
dead
point-
or undead.
Furtherly, I hoped they would just, be plain dead, but considering where we're at, it's
I mean,
Right, so Liska is going to, at this point in time, pull out the Sanctified Great Sword. Oh, it's already equipped, okay.
Sal's just up on the roof keeping watch.
oh,
While y'all are being loot gremlins.
Hey, we're gonna give you shit.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just.
It's like throw the flail up at you. Here!
Bong.
Woman down. Anyway, so yeah, Liska's gonna kind of get the Sanctified Greatsword, kind of do a couple of figure 8 swipes, kind of get a feel for it. It's like, hey, this is actually very well balanced.
No, it's not as good as your usual one, but it'll make those spots less likely to pop up.
Mm-hmm. Though I guess she just kind of sits there and pauses and looks at it. I guess if we're going to be testing, and she kind of motions to Dajar, and then to the wall of black surrounding this fort, I guess I probably should use my old one. Because that's
Yeah,
more
just-
likely to test it, yes? So,
yes.
alright, fuck it.
If it
And she, like, she re-equips the Slayer's Blade. Like, okay, that's fine.
Well, you got options.
I do.
Yeah. So if it works, great. If it don't, well, shit.
Yep.
Fuck, I just realized since he's not here, I can't give him his share. Whoops. It'll be fine, just somebody remind.
Actually, you could just send it to him, and the GM can accept it for him.
No, you can't. There's no option to select it unless the player is on.
No, you can't. Sadly.
It's fine. Anyway, onwards.
So,
I'll remind you later.
what you doing?
Should we keep moving then? Which way? Looking to listen.
It's like, well, she kind of motions to the stairs, like the tracks do go up. So,
Oh, ladies first.
all right, and she will slowly but surely kind of creep up the stairs.
I'm gonna guess carefully so because wait.
Well, these also look like stone stairs, but carefully because
Clack.
there might be someone up there. So
Clack.
she is going to
Clack.
try to stealth this. Yeah.
Clackety clack.
All right, make a
Her
stealth
plus
check.
1.
13. All right.
That's surprising.
Better than average.
Okay, hold up.
Slightly,
Slightly better than average.
slightly below you. That's fine.
And then me.
Oh no.
Oh,
Fucking sucks.
for some reason that was a private roll, but I'm gonna roll the 20.
It's just
Oh,
like,
shit.
let's get Vellum somehow
roll
like
with
in their
the question?
relatively
Did he roll with
chunky arm,
disadvantage?
sneaking up.
Oh, good point actually. He needs to roll again.
Liska did roll a disadvantage because she literally has mithril armor. There,
You fucking
20.
You get
So 20.
21. The fuck?
Meanwhile, Snake is
Oh, well, I guess he probably would have got it himself because he did say that.
just
Unless
holding on
otherwise.
to too many staffs. The staff and he scraping along the
No,
walls.
I'm big brain.
So you come up towards the next floor up. You see a number of skeletons.
Oh boy, more skeletons.
Long, aged, dust-ridden, ashen.
Actually, let me make a stealth check too. Hang on.
I think it would be a good idea.
Let's see. Jane, you changed how this works, right? It's that, and then it's +4, plus a D4.
Yes, I believe so.
Also,
Let me actually see what it.
This would be considered dim light.
Yeah,
Hooray.
what's it called? Belong in darkness.
Belongs in darkness.
sensitivity.
Yes.
Nope, wrong one.
Oh, wrong one. Yep. Sorry. Don't mind me.
Just gonna press this. Oh, I can. Was it 13?
All right, so even better than average.
I think so.
Hooray.
We're all doing
We're
moderately
average.
well, guys.
Yeah.
Good job.
We even got one person at the bottom and one person at the top. Balance it out.
All right. So where to? Oh wait, no. Go ahead and make another. Because I imagine both you and Grunkrat are kind of doing this together, right? Tracking the footprints.
Yeah, sure.
One of you go ahead and make a survival check with advantage, or the both of you.
Let's do. Oh, I forgot to hold down Alt, but 22.
22. Let's see. Both sets of prints seem to come around towards here and then go up the stairs again. The next floor up, it seems.
All right. Question: does it seem like these? I guess, just for future reference, whenever they pass skeletons, Liska's going to give them like a quick once-over to be like, are these from before today or yesterday, or are these recent?
These seem to be very, very old. You can see the ash that generally kind of hangs in the air has sort of clumped over their forms. Probably been here for centuries.
Okay. With that in mind, Liska's going to kind of motion for the group, like, oh, they went up the stairs, and then she's going to boop, boop, boop. God damn it.
You're too big.
Yeah.
Even on
just,
the regular map.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to, yeah, because you're large, just go ahead and like hold shift to do so. There you go.
Hey.
You hold shift while moving in order to do it between the squares.
Gotcha. Oh, hey, Sal.
Oh,
There you are.
How's it going?
Gov. Bad.
Sal, do you actually say this to her?
Sure. Why not?
Sal just turns, looks at you,
Big shit-eating grin.
and you can see Sal is suppressing a smile and a grin, but in like, you know, the best way possible. It's just like rolling her eyes as she just looks to the, you know, the walkway ahead and just...
Yeah, you're not allowed to give me remarks about the shit I say now. I was gonna go out and test the walkway, because if somebody heavier, cough cough Liska tests it, it may go through.
Okay. You kind of step out bit by bit onto the walkway. I mean,
It's sort of just like you know when you lean forward and you're sort of putting your weight on the front foot, you just sort of bounce a little.
It seems to hold well enough. Yeah,
Right, well,
it seems sturdy enough.
all right. You want to head over first, Liska?
Sure. She will.
Yep. Grunk scurries over.
I don't want to go over and if it breaks.
I want to go over it when it breaks.
As Liska comes across, there's a bit of a crack as she reaches the end, but it still holds.
Alright, I'm just 4 times heavier than any of you, so it's fine.
Yeah, you really should have gone lost, shouldn't you?
And as you kind of continuously following these tracks, they indeed seem to follow across that same gap in the that same walkway. You notice the, let's see, this would be the clawed footprints seem to venture this way and up into here.
What about the hooved?
They seem to gradually do the same as well.
Okay. Alright, so Liska is going to kind of look around and just give a general sense of